Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it. It's AFR LSU, your home for daily content on your favorite team, Fighting Tigers of LSU. And we're proud to be presented by BetUS, where this football season, get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use the promo code YouTube150. Now, enjoy the video. I got a text into the show a bit ago from Patrick, who said, Matt, are you even a bit concerned how paying all these portal guys will impact the locker room? So, now, disclosure, I did address this a bit last week when Brian Kelly came out with this whole we're going to be aggressive in the portal stance. But I'll reiterate it. One of the big differences this year from a year ago is I'll give you a very real example that transpired last year. In that first portal window, LSU was not aggressive in going after defensive linemen because there was a really good chance that Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo were going to return. I've even told you the numbers. LSU had $500,000 NIL offers on the table for both those guys. Bo Davis initially elected to stay at Texas. They went into the draft. LSU re-engaged with Bo. They got him here. By that point, it was too late. They had to go in that second portal window and be aggressive trying to get defensive linemen. But what we saw happen was Dominic Williams came in. The TCU transfer wanted $1.2 million. Ultimately ended up at Oklahoma. By the way, had an okay season at Oklahoma. Maybe 30 tackles, 1.5 sacks, something like that. An okay season. But not something that you could justify paying $1.2 million for. And a big part of that, too, was LSU, the highest paid player on the team this year was Will Campbell, who's making $500,000. That same $500,000 that was offered to Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo. So they looked at it from the standpoint of, how can you justify paying someone from another school coming in more than double what you're paying your best player? And I understand that completely. I don't think anybody would disagree with me right now, right? I mean, I never want to say never. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but it makes sense. Who's the Will Campbell on next year's team? Who's the surefire, can't miss, slam dunk, first round, 3-year starter left tackle on next year's team? I mean, you got good players that I'm excited to see. Excited to see Caden Durham take a step next year. Whit Weeks will be a junior, a second-year starter. I think he has all. I believe he's got certainly all SEC potential, if not all American potential. He's top 10 in the country in tackles this year. Who is it? Who's the guy that is on this team that you have to worry what they think? We'll get right back to the video, but want to take this opportunity again to tell you about our great partner here on AFR LSU, BetUS. Here this football season, it's championship weekend ahead. You got 9 football games to feast on, and the best place to place your bets is at BetUS, where you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two deposits, up to $2,000. Let's go lock in our bet. No LSU game this weekend, but let's bet on the SEC championship game. Hit the football drop down. We'll choose the college football odds page, and here's every conference championship game. So, Georgia, Texas, rematch of the game from Austin where Georgia bludgeoned Texas. They always say, tough to beat a good team twice and all that stuff. You're going to give me Georgia and points against a team they already beat on the road when they're at a neutral site in Atlanta with a partisan Georgia crowd? Yeah, I'll take Georgia and the points in this one. So we'll go over here to how much we're going to risk. Let's put 100 bones on it. Will it place my bet? It'll ask me to confirm. And just like that, a couple of taps, and we got our bet locked in. You can do the same thing. Remember, 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two deposits, up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150. Now enjoy the rest of the video. I mean, Nuss would be in that conversation. And I'll tell you point blank, while I don't know the number that every starting quarterback in the SEC made through their collective this year, I would tell you Garrett was probably bottom 3 in the league with what he was paid among starting quarterbacks in the SEC. He's going to get a bump next year. He returns, which we all hope he will. Knock on for Micah. But he'll get a significant bump, but still, that it's not like there's a thing where if you can bring in somebody who is I'll keep using examples of guys that went into the portal here in this last year because we don't know yet who's going into the portal. But like if there's a Walter Nolan type player that goes in the portal, like there's nobody in LSU's roster go, man, why are you paying him? No, come on. You see what I mean? Like if there's a Caleb Downs, like the 5-star safety from Alabama that started as a true freshman and became all conference as a true freshman and led Alabama in tackles, and that guy, plug-and-play starter, immediate, like the best safety in the country immediately, and you can go get him, like, what does it cost? You see what I mean? Like there's I don't believe there's that guy on next year's team that is the one in the locker room you'd have to worry about. Because I think while you could have a lot of good players and veteran players and some returning starters and a really solid foundation, what you're supplementing with are the star players, which has always kind of been the idea behind this approach, which is recruit great high school players, develop them in your program, and then supplement with great players in the portal. When you have holes in your roster, go into the portal and get impact guys. A year ago in the portal, LSU added contributors. You signed 9 guys out of the portal. And a lot of them contributed. Gio Paez became a starter for you. And JVR Suggs gave you good interior pass rush. And Jordan Gilbert played a lot for you. CJ Daniels was a really good player on your offense. But none of the guys I just mentioned were superstars. Like, none of those guys are going to be all conference. The big difference is you're not looking for quantity. Like, I don't think you're taking the money that you're reallocating from Bryce Underwood or Cade Phillips. We'll see what happens with DJ Pickett. Again, Pickett's saying all the right things, and everything I've heard, even up until literally the last hour, is that he's saying all the right things and is planning on signing with LSU tomorrow. But again, until the ink's dry, what if Phil Knight or one of the Miami boosters drops a bag on him, just like we saw at Bryce Underwood? We'll see. But I see you take that money and you're allocating it not to add bodies out of the portal, like depth pieces. You're trying to add starters and stars out of the portal. So you're going to hear me say it consistently. Like, my familiar refrain is going to be, ask me in a month. Ask me in a month when the 25 early signing period is done, which will be tomorrow, and then the transfer portal window closes, and we see who in this portal window LSU's brought in. Ask me in a month. You want to melt because CJ Daniels went in the portal and Deshaun Womack went in the portal and Cade Phillips flipped? I get it. Everybody loses players. Everybody has guys go into the portal. Like, literally every team does. But if you take a step back, if you can let that whole thing play out, all of the constant movement that's happening right now and shuffling in guys that are going to be, this game of musical chairs. If you can let the music stop a month from now and assess, let's see what it looks like then. Because if they're able to do the thing they're talking about doing, which is taking this money that was allocated for the high school guys that are now saying, I'm flipping, okay, and you're going to go into the portal and go ham and get impact guys, okay. I like the approach. You're still signing 25 high school players and 10 portal guys. Okay. What do the 10 portal guys look like? That is the answer to the test. And we'll know the answer in a month. Thanks so much for watching the video. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, hit the bell so you're notified when we post a new video, and remember to support BetUS, where right now you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150.